Welcome to On the Run at the 2014 NYC Half. I'm Carla Bruning, and in this episode we're bringing you the professional races. Let's take a look at the men's and women's lineup.
Great Britain's Mo Farah may be the greatest distance runner on the track. He won the NYC Half in 2011. The three-time world champion and double Olympic gold medalist has been unbeatable at major championships in recent years. Joffrey Mootye of Kenya is arguably the world's greatest marathoner. The two-time New York City Marathon champion also won the 2011 Boston Marathon. Meb Keflezighi is an Olympic silver medalist and the 2009 New York City Marathon champion. Wesley Career is a tough competitor on the road as a 2012 Boston Marathon champion and two-time LA Marathon champion. Bujanish Deba of Ethiopia lives and trains in the Bronx as the fastest female New York resident in history. Native New Yorker Molly Huddle is the American 5,000-meter record holder. She won the 2013 NYRR Dash to the Finish Line 5K. Sally Kipyego of Kenya took home the 10,000-meter silver medal at the 2011 IAAF World Championships, then repeated the performance at the London 2012 Olympics. American Desiree Linden is the 2011 Boston Marathon and 2012 U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials runner-up.
Joining me are Carrie Tollefson and Tony Revis, who called the race. Tony, walk us through what happened on the men's side.
Well, it was the big matchup, the anticipated matchup between the two-time New York City Marathon champion Joffrey Mootye and the debutante-to-be in the London Marathon, Mo Farah, with Stephen Samboo, I always looked upon as the potential spoiler in this race. It turned out pretty conservative at the beginning of the race as we had Meb Keflezighi, the 2009 New York City Marathon champ, taking them out. They passed the 5K mark at 15:15, so they were not attacking. Finally, at 17 minutes after they had made the turn past 5K and coming down West Side Drive, at 17 minutes or so, Joffrey Mootye went to the front and began to push, and that started to break up that lead pack, which is fairly dense at that point. But then just before the 10K mark, the big shocker of the race, Mo Farah gets his foot clipped from behind in that dense pack. He goes down. The second he goes down, it's like they lit a torch under Joffrey Mootye and Stephen Samboo, and they both shot off, realizing this is the moment. And it took some time for Mo to get himself back together and get himself running. He was in the head of that chase pack, but it was all but over at that point. Now, at the end of the day, down West Side Highway, Mootye made a move and got away from Stephen Samboo for the victory. But over that long stretch from about 8 miles to the finish, Mo gathered himself and ran down Samboo and finished only 17 seconds behind Mootye. So the question is, would he have been there had he not fallen? So this makes the London Marathon, April 13th, even more intriguing.
Now, Carrie, as you were calling the race for the ABC broadcast, what did you make of all of it?
Well, it was just really unfortunate that Mo had to go down that early in the race. I think everyone was really excited to see the battle between Joffrey and Mo. Obviously, we thought Stephen might have a really good day and be able to maybe sneak in there. But I think that everyone was looking at the heavy favorites and really quite sad that Mo went down, but actually so thankful that he's okay. Hopefully, we'll see him back here in New York next year.
It wasn't quite what we expected, but it certainly did maintain that intrigue heading toward April 13th.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with Mootye and a couple of the other top finishers. Let's take a look.
And today it was cold, but I thank God I managed to win. I'm so happy, I'm great.
I thought I was going to be number 2, but when I saw Mo coming on me, I know it's gonna outcook me. Because I know Mo is very, very fast.
I think I competed pretty well, and hopefully it helps to inspire some of the other runners out there. I heard a lot of cheers, and I really appreciated that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, and it's crazy for a half marathon. There's 20,000 plus people. It was a great day, and I'm sure that it's just going to get better and better.
The 2014 NYC Half was the first edition to include a professional wheelchair competition. American Josh George started the race with top 10 finishes in 3 of his 5 New York City marathons. He wrote his name into history by winning the men's competition. Canadian Diane Rar was the 2008 Summer Paralympics gold medalist in the women's 5,000 meter. Today, she was the 2014 NYC Half inaugural women's wheelchair champion.
will we'll turn our attention to the women's race. Tony, it didn't play out all that differently from the men's race.
No, surprisingly in many ways, where there were a lot of veterans on the men's side, there were a lot of debutantes on the women's side, including a number of the favorites. But they went through about 3 miles in 16 minutes. That's 5:20 per mile pace, which is like top-end marathon pace as opposed to the half marathon. But I think the cold weather had something to do with that. And again, you get too many really top people together and they start eyeballing one another rather than ripping. Well, as it turns out, we had Lisa Stublic from Croatia, former Columbia student, who was the leader through the early section of Central Park going up East Side Drive. But then it broke down to about 5 women, and then coming out of Central Park, it broke down to 3 women, with Sally Kipyego and Molly Huddle, the 2 top debutantes in the field, being joined by Buzinesh Deba, twice second at the New York City Marathon. And surprisingly, it was the debutantes who were leading Buzinesh, who sat in 3rd place. And just like the men's race, really, it was when they turned off Times Square on 42nd Street, heading toward the Hudson River and the West Side Highway, that the break was made. And that's when Sally got her gap on Molly Huddle and began to pull away. And unlike the men who finished well over the event record, Sally Kipyego kept stroking it really well all the way down the highway, down here to the financial district, and voila, she shows up on Water Street, heading toward Wall Street in 68:30, which is an event record by 5 seconds. So not bad for a debutante, with Molly Huddle coming in 3rd place, also excellent for their debut races at the half marathon distance. Not a surprise, but you could see that Sally was particularly happy with the outcome.
Now, Carrie, you had a chance to speak with both Sally and Molly in the week leading up to the race. What were you thinking as you were watching this race unfold?
You know what? I don't think that race could have gone really much better than it did. Buzinesh Deba finishing second. She's finished second here so many times at the marathon. She knows the course like the back of her hand. But for both Molly and Sally, they had great races today. I think both of them are going to go home and think, for my first time running a half marathon, it went pretty well, and I'm sure they're excited to do another one and maybe even think about going up in distance. But
Sally's a silver medalist at the Olympics at 10,000 meters. There's no reason she can't be a world beater at any distance she attempts.
Well, I had a chance to speak with all 3 of the top women finishers. Let's hear what they had to say.
I'm thrilled. I'm just so happy that I came together for me today. I knew I could get to 10 miles, but the last 3 I didn't know, and I'm just glad that I came first today.
It was good. I was trying to catch second. I was 3rd by this much, but it was good. It was hard the last 3 miles, but it's definitely something I want to get better at and try again.
It was good, and it's very cold. Yeah, it was good race. Of course, next year I'm gonna win. Will of God.
It was an amazing day here in New York City, but there's always much more to come. Now's your chance to apply for the 2014 TCS New York City Marathon. But hurry, the application deadline is Tuesday, March 18th. Visit tcsnycmarathon.org to register. Or, if you want guaranteed entry today, run with Team for Kids. Visit runwithtfk.org for more details. Celebrate all 5 boroughs of New York by registering or volunteering for our next 5 borough events in Brooklyn and Queens. Follow NYRR on the web, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. To find out more about all of NYRR's races, visit nyrr.org. Thank you for joining us at the 2014 NYC Half. I'm Carla Bruning, and we'll see you on the run.